It's done. I think it looks pretty nice. I gotta trim that down a little bit to make it feel not so tall, but I didn't have shears on me at the time, so I will take care of that later. But here it is. Here's the sheep farm is all done. I've got it's pretty open. You could just walk right on through, but I kind of like that because it's not supposed to feel like a building. It's kind of the same on the backside too. It's supposed to feel more along the lines of, well, like a barn. It's barn shaped. It's open. You just run in, you grab what you need, and then you run back out. I don't actually need that, so let's put that away. I also extended this path from up here all the way up to the barn. And as far as details go, we're copying elements that we've got from our main starter base over here throughout the entirety of this area. That's the plan. So we've got, some of this lapis hidden inside the walls, and both of them are actually behind this lichen, which is kind of nice. This side's pretty plain. I might do something a little bit more with this down the road, but for now, yeah, it's just that. And then around on the back side, we've got a little bit more lapis. We're using some tuff and gravel here to kind of make this top half seem a little bit run down and not taken care of. So I think now it's fair to say that this is done. So a lot has happened off camera, and I kind of wanted to take a moment to just show you what has been going on. First of all, I moved the door that was kind of in this like little lump here that takes us down to the trading hall, and I made this instead, so now you can just fall right on down, and here you are. You've got all of your stuff in here, and then you've got a bubble vader to take you right back up. Now, since I've been spending a lot of time in this area, I mean, it's my home base, why wouldn't I? We have had a massive influx of villagers, and somehow a few of them have managed to escape? I have no idea how, but we've got this guy here, and we have this guy here. How he managed to get all the way up there is quite beyond me, but yeah, there he is. I've also been laying out the copper around my house, all the copper that I am smelting up so that it oxidizes, and then I'm laying down new ones so that they oxidize. Get out of here. And I'm doing that because, well, I mean, a lot of the builds that we are going to be doing in this area require a lot of copper. The barn and our starter base already do use quite a lot, so I need the copper. Now, something I haven't shown in a long time is actually our cave base, which, as you may know, our house is on top of now. I've done some work underground, and I've organized all of my stuff into different chests, so everything is where it's supposed to be. So here's all the copper I've been gathering up. And then speaking of copper, I built this little guy, just a quick little, not so automatic smelter. I have hoppers full of raw copper in the top feeding into these blast furnaces, which then get smelted down and then run into this chest here, which, whew, that's a lot of copper. So I'll then take the copper, bring it over to our crafting table, and turn them into blocks, which I can then put away in here. Now, the reason why these have levers on them is so that you can stop items from, I believe, entering and exiting the blast furnaces. And the reason why I'm doing that is because so far these 4 furnaces have smelted like a significant amount of copper. And so when it gets near the end of going through all the raw copper in here, I want to be able to take out the copper ingot here and get all of the XP from that. So when this is nearing completion, I'm going to flip these levers down so that I can grab the last little bit of copper and a lot of XP. Last episode I said I wanted to work on an Enderman farm. But I don't actually have an Enderman farm here on my adventure board, and I still do want to get to that, but I think there's something else that I need to get to first, and that's a gold farm. Now, I know the whole like zombie piglin, XP, whatever, is changing in 1.19, and by the time you're seeing this episode, 1.19 is already out. So this isn't going to work as well as it would have in versions prior, but I still want to get it done. I still want to be able to get gold and everything, so I'm going to go ahead and get some of those materials together, and we'll get started on that project today.
Ah. Dang it. Ah. That could have gone a little better. Oh, there it is. Sweet. Alright, we got our stuff back. We're all good to go. We can keep on mining up some of this good stuff over here. Take care of this guy first. Wow, one hit. Alright, so we've collected about 3.5 shulker boxes full of magma blocks, and that's going to be the main building block for our gold farm, because only zombified piglins will spawn on them. I hear a skeleton. That is cobblestone. That is a spawner. Oh, and it's a skeleton spawner too, so that's like super cool because we need the bones. And this is like really close to our base too, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this into a bit of a mob farm and set that up for getting bones and bone meal and arrows and all that sort of stuff. So, oh, exciting. This is a great find. Well, it's not pretty, but it works. I got this whole area dug out, so these guys should be spawning in any second now. They'll fall down here, go down this little trench all the way up, and then come all the way back down where I can then whack them and get all the loot. So we're ready to build our gold farm now. I have all the materials ready. So now it's just a matter of actually getting started on the project. Now you'll notice our nether portal has moved from our cozy cobblestone enclosure out here to this little island that I built. And that's because this nether portal is actually closer to our base in the overworld, and so now I don't have to run from that birch forest all the way back to our starting location. Now, on top of that, I've also made my way all the way up to the nether roof, but I haven't broken through yet. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with this process and getting involved with getting up on top of the roof and breaking the bedrock, but for those of you who aren't, hi, hello. For those of you who aren't, it's not a very trivial process. So all you got to do is find a place in the nether ceiling where the targeted block is at 127. This spot here, 127, that's the block that we're looking for. And so all you do is just get your ladder all the way up to the top there, take an ender pearl, and aim right into the corner, and you're up. I want to get rid of this block of bedrock. And the way you do that is with a piston. You put that facing up, and you grab some obsidian, put a block on top of that with a lever, then a trapdoor, and then we need 2 blocks of TNT. Now this looks kind of crazy, and I am not the best person to explain how this works. There are tutorials online that you can find that show you how to do this and explain it better than I could, but essentially what happens is this piston is going to explode with these 2 blocks of TNT, and we're going to very quickly replace it with another piston, and something crazy happens in the game and the bedrock underneath breaks. It's very strange. So what you do is you flick this lever, you go under this trapdoor, and then you're going to right click as fast as possible in this corner here to replace this piston as soon as it breaks. Alright, so here goes our first attempt. Oops. Oh dear. Okay, and and we did a pretty poor job, so let's try that again. Okay, attempt number 2. And I think that worked. So if we mine this piston away, yes, we have a hole straight down. Oh dear. Ah! Ooh, don't think that worked. The piston needs to be facing up. Right. Oh no, we're out of levers. Ah. I ran out of levers, so I had to come home and grab a few more. Hey, there we go. And now we have a hole in the nether ceiling so that we can get up and down easily. So I'm up here at the top of the nether. This is where I'm going to have the base, the floor of the gold farm. It's gonna go right here. And I have all of my materials. We've got a ton of glass, a lot of more glass and other random blocks, and then several shulker boxes full of magma blocks. So we are going to go ahead and get started with the build. Enjoy the time lapse. We're done! This took a very long time, but it is very worth it because I've built this farm before in the past, and it is exceptional. Let me show you how it works. All you really need to do is stand on this trapdoor here in the middle, and then the zombie piglins will be able to see you through this little gap here in the glass and the deep slate. There are also 3 piglins on each corner of the farm. They're standing on glass blocks. They're a little hard to see, so let's stand up here a little bit. There's glass blocks here. These piglins will never despawn because I have them named. And so these are the alert pigmen. So anytime you anger another zombified piglin, it'll keep the crowd angry, essentially. I built 4 layers of this machine with a top little glass layer at the world height to prevent any ghasts from spawning in and destroying all of our precious work. And the only thing you need to do here is take your bow and arrow, shoot one of these guys, hop back down into the middle, and then they will funnel in to these 4 channels indicated by the trapdoors here. Because you're in the middle, they'll be attracted to you over here, and there are 24 minecarts in that one space there on all 4 of these terminals, and the zombified piglins will then take entity cramming damage, meaning there's too many entities all in one spot, so they'll start suffocating. Because of the mechanics in 1.18 and below, when the angered zombified piglins die, they will also drop their XP along with their gold. So let's go ahead and get this party started here. I'll find a nice candidate to attack. Oh, bad shot. Let's try that again. There we go. Now everybody is very angry with me, so let's hop on down into the middle and let's watch them all come in. And there they go. Everybody's dying. I'm getting the XP. Now while that's going, down below, I have a collection system here that's just kind of shooting everything out of this dropper. And the reason why it's going into a cobweb is because if you were to not have the cobweb here, these items would just spray out in all sorts of different directions. So having the cobweb here ensures that they go straight down. And then down below, I don't have anything in place yet, no collection or anything. It's just kind of landing there. So that's the farm. Pretty simple. Again, I've iterated this before, but in the next update, 1.19, I believe they're changing the way the zombified piglins will drop their XP. So this will only become a gold farm, but I'm kind of okay with that because we have a lot of other ways of getting XP really quickly. All right, let's take a look at the adventure board. We have managed to complete, I think, roughly half of all of the tasks that we set out to do. Let's mark off the gold farm now that that is done. And now we can start focusing on other things that we want to accomplish. One thing that I have noticed I'm running out of a lot is rockets. And they're not hard to craft, it's just hard to get all the necessary ingredients. So I do have a pretty large surplus of sugarcane. However, it's the gunpowder that I don't have a lot of. So the project I'd like to tackle next is a creeper farm. And I think I have a really nice spot to put it. If we head on this way, we have a little bit of an ocean over here. And I think this is a really decent spot to put a creeper farm. So I'm just going to go ahead and pillar up here until we get to about Y level 200. And then we'll start building the farm there. Well, it's raining now, but we did make it all the way up to Y level 200, and so now we're ready to start building this thing. I do have a couple of shulker boxes here in my inventory full of stuff that I will need, including a lot of tinted glass. So things that we need to do this project. And I'll be following a tutorial by Waddles, and I'll have his video linked in the description below. Alright, I hope you guys aren't bothered by time lapses because it is time lapse time again. Let's go! Here it is, all done. Now, I've built 5 pads here, and the only mobs that can spawn on top of them are creepers, and that's because there are trapdoors at the head height of each platform, right up there. And the creepers will fall down. They'll land on the magma blocks here and take damage, and then the hopper minecarts up here will pick up those drops, and then they will fall right on into here. Because of the way the spider mechanics work, those will also spawn in here sometimes. But it is a creeper farm and it is working. But that's going to do it for us today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of this whole experience with me. It's been amazing. We got quite a few things done today. We finished our barn, we built a gold farm, we built a creeper farm, and yeah, everything is just going super well. So take care. And I will see you all again in the next episode. Bye-bye.